Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone to day 2 of the Bootstrap Software Summit. Yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. I got countless messages from a lot of you asking what's on the agenda today, and a lot of thank you notes for everything that we put together. So thank you for sending those to us. It was great to read those. Before we get into today's content, because today's content and lineup is absolutely ridiculous. Before we get into that, I wanted to share a couple thoughts with you about how you can make the most progress possible in your business, what's required for that, and two, the number one mistake I see entrepreneurs making in 2016, 2017 who are just getting started. So let me tell you a quick story of when I was 21 years old. When I was really early in my 20s, one of my hopes and dreams and desires was to be a professional speaker. It was something I really wanted to do. And but I had everything going against me because I was 21 years old. I had no track record in business. There's no reason that anyone would hire anyone to do speaking gigs. But I saw the lifestyle where, for me, it was always about traveling. I've always wanted to travel and explore with business. And I thought this was a great way to do it. And so I ended up wanting to do this and not making any traction with it or progress, and getting kind of stuck in that, like, I don't really know what to do or where to go with it. And then I met this man named Adam Carroll, who became a really close mentor of mine. And I'm so grateful to him because he took me under his wing and showed me his business. I started working for him for a little bit, and I literally went into the business, and he was traveling around the US giving talks to college students. And so we would fly and do these like leadership conferences and do a keynote and a bunch of workshops. And he showed me what he was doing. He showed me how he was getting customers. He showed me how he would follow up with people. He showed me what time of year that you had to reach out to people and talk with them, and all of these different things. And if, fast forward a year or two after learning from him and working with him for a little bit, when I was 23, I got paid to give my first talk. I made $500 when I was 23, $500 giving a talk for 3 hours. And it was mind-boggling to me that I could get paid that much money to do something that I loved. I was still in corporate America, fresh out of college, and I gave a talk on social media to the Iowa Chamber of Commerce, something. And continue with that. What ended up happening, I spent a year or two, I would travel around and I would go facilitate conferences, leadership conferences for college students. And it all happened early in my 20s. I would get paid a couple grand for a weekend to go do this. And all because Adam showed me step by step. Now, why am I sharing this with you? All of the interviews today, all of the interviewees have built 7-figure businesses. I'm imagining that's a place where you'd like to go. Or even if all you want to do is build a 6-figure business at this point, your desire is going to expand once you get to 6 figures. You'll want to go a little bit bigger. And I've grilled them on what they did step by step, so you can get as nitty-gritty into the details as possible. And this is what I see as the fastest way to get results, is to immerse yourself with people who've been there and done it, and see behind the hood, see everything that they've done step by step, and immerse yourself with it. But there's a caveat with this, because I don't want you to make the number one mistake that I see that entrepreneurs who are getting started make. And the number one mistake that I'm seeing people making today is they believe there is only one way. They get lost thinking that there is one possibility or one path, and that is the path that they have to follow. If you look online, you'll see countless products right now for, how many people are telling you that, oh, Snapchat's the next big thing, Instagram's the next big thing, Facebook Live is the next big thing, you should be starting a blog, you should have a personal brand, you should start a podcast, you should build an Amazon business. Each one of these is touted as the next big thing. And I see entrepreneurs bouncing from idea to idea to idea, chasing different shiny objects over and over and over again. And the people that I'm talking about, where every week they have a new idea and every week they're trying something new, but they never actually get results or momentum or progress. And I think the reason why this happens is because entrepreneurs, especially starting entrepreneurs, they get lost in the gold rush mentality, where they see the new thing, they get really excited about it, so they flock to it. And it happens for a period of time, a year or two, things are really good. Amazon businesses were huge for a while. Blogging was huge for a while. Snapchat was huge for a while. And then it all kind of like dwindles down, and then they're left back at the starting gate not knowing what to do. And the reason why is because they haven't studied the core principles of business. Like, what are the core principles of the game of business that you need to understand? And what I've found is that entrepreneurs who are bootstrapping understand these principles better than anyone, because they have to, because we're forced to. We're forced to figure out how to get a customer on day one. We're forced to figure out how to get to profitability as quickly as possible. We're forced to figure out how to remove as much risk from the equation as we can, because we have to, because we don't have that much stuff to risk. So when you're watching the videos today, be watching for the patterns of the principles of business. What are the core things that the trends that you see among all of these entrepreneurs who have started and scaled $1 million software company from scratch, bootstrapped entirely, and you'll see patterns emerge. And when you see the patterns emerge, it won't be a mystery anymore. You'll see exactly what you need to do. Now, and you'll see it at a high level. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this tactic, or go do blogging, or go do Instagram. One example that I see a lot is like, people think about, should I study marketing or should I build a really good product? If I build a great product, will it just people show up, or do I need to study marketing? And you can see today that both can work. There's a lot of great interviews today, but if you're not a good marketer, you can just focus on product. Peldi from Balsamiq doesn't do marketing. He doesn't track any metrics in his business, and he doesn't want to grow more than a couple percentage points per year. They're a $7 million company right now. There are multiple ways to make things work. And I think the reason that the foundation has been so successful with our students is because we don't focus just on one niche or one thing or one trend. Yes, we focus on software, but what we focus on is teaching you the core fundamentals of business so that you can have these skills for the rest of your life. For no matter what it is that you want to do, you'll have this. This is why we've seen people build, Chandler built a 7-figure business with publishing. John Logers built it with consulting. Ben and Caitlin built it with a proofreading business. Kat and Alan built it with a physical product. We've seen multiple businesses come out of it because we're teaching the principles of business, the core principles of bootstrapping from the beginning. So if you want to make the most results possible in the shortest amount of time, it is to completely immerse yourself with people who have been there and done it, who you resonate with. Like, energetically, do you vibe with them or do you not vibe with them? I think that is one of the most core things that you need to look for in people that you want to mentor you and guide you. So total immersion, and don't get lost thinking that there is only one way. Study principles, don't study tactics. And if you take these two things today while you're watching the interviews, I think you're going to have a lot of great lessons that come out of this. So with all that being said, tonight we've got our after party with Andrew Warner. Would love to see you guys at that. It's at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be talking about some of the most important lessons Andrew has learned from interviewing over 1,000 founders. He's interviewed 1,000 founders, some of the best entrepreneurs in the world, and we'll be talking what he's learned from that. So join us 7 p.m. Mountain Time. There's a link right on the right-hand side where you can join us for it. If you're interested in joining the foundation, there's an apply button below the videos. Make sure you apply. We're going to be hosting a private after party on Wednesday night where we'll be talking about what these core principles are that we've learned from all of these interviews over the course of the past few days. So click the apply button, join us. Again, this will be the last class Dane is teaching, where we've got a killer lineup. If you want to get mentored by some people who have been there and done it and who have a track record of making it work, and a track record of students who are accomplishing remarkable things, join us, because you're going to have Dane teaching, me teaching, Andrew Warner teaching, and a handful of other mentors. We've never created this much personal attention for a group before. And so if it's on your docket for 2017, if this is a year for you where you really want to take things to the next level in your business and in your life, I would love to see you inside the foundation. Go ahead and click the apply button. And with that, I'm stoked to let you guys get started with today's interviews. If you have any questions, feel free to reach me in the chat box below or in the Facebook group. You can click there and hang out with some of the speakers in there, hanging out with some of the attendees. And if there's any questions, I'll answer them all for you there. So thank you guys so much for checking this out and being a part of it. I absolutely love creating this for you. And I hope you guys have a rocking Monday listening to some of these interviews. Catch you later.